Today, their guardian angel comes to bring them a very important message. There is something powerful unfolding, something that you may already be feeling in your heart, but that will now be revealed more clearly. The connection between you and that special person is not a coincidence. It is a true love, a bond that has been carefully planned, protected, and guided by forces much greater than we can understand. God has a plan, and this plan involves not only you, but also that person who is constantly on their mind. Both of you are being prepared, shaped for something great, something that has the potential to transform your lives in a way that you can't even imagine at this moment. Everything that is happening, the doubts, the difficulties, the moments of uncertainty, is part of this divine plan. The angels are working behind the scenes, moving pieces that you can't see yet, but that will soon be clear. Get ready, because true love, the one you've always dreamed of, is closer than ever. That person who fills your heart, who sometimes seems so distant, is actually going through a deep inner journey. What you may not know is that behind the actions and behaviors that seem cold or distant, there is a silent struggle happening. Their guardian angel wants you to know that this person, although not showing it clearly, is facing a great internal battle. They are dealing with fears, insecurities, and emotional blocks that prevent them from fully surrendering to this love. But most importantly, this person loves you in a way that perhaps they themselves do not fully understand yet. God's plan for both of you involves healing deep wounds, both theirs and that person's. These wounds, often, are what make the relationship seem so challenging. But the message your angel brings today is clear: don't give up. You are on the right path. Every difficulty that arises, every moment of uncertainty, is part of a larger process, a process that is leading you to a deeper, stronger love, built on solid foundations. The person you think of so often is often consumed by doubts and fears. There is a mix of intense feelings within them, and you are the key to unlocking this confusion. Your love, your patience, and your faith are what will help that person to see the truth, to see beyond their fears and insecurities. And the most beautiful part of all this is that God has also been working in you, preparing your heart, strengthening your soul so that you can be that light in the life of the one who loves you so much. The divine plan, however grand, also requires time. There is a need for both of you to prepare yourselves, to face your shadows and to grow individually before you can fully come together. Therefore, this journey may seem long, with moments of distance and silence. But the angels ask you to trust the process. They are by your side, guiding each step you take, even when it seems like nothing is happening. There is something magical in the way God unites souls that are meant to be together. From the very first moment your paths crossed, something changed in the universe around you. It was no coincidence that you met. There was a greater reason, a purpose that is slowly unfolding. Every little detail, every coincidence, every twist in your lives was designed to bring you to this moment. The love you feel, this certainty that exists within you, is not an illusion. It is the divine truth manifesting in your life. And although that person may seem confused or distant now, deep down, they feel the same. They may not be able to express this in words or actions at the moment, but the love they feel for you is real as the love that God has placed in both of your hearts. And no matter how much they try to pull away, try to ignore or suppress what they feel, the truth always prevails. True love always finds a way. The angels want you to know that soon there will be a change. Something within that person will start to shift. It will be as if a new clarity arises in their mind and heart, and they will finally begin to see what has always been right in front of their eyes: the love you offer, the strength you represent, and the importance of being together. This moment of clarity will be a turning point in your relationship. It will be the moment doubts begin to fade, and the path to true love becomes clearer and clearer. But until that moment arrives, there is something very important that you need to do: take care of yourself. God did not place you on this journey to lose yourself in the process of loving another person. He wants you to also grow, to also strengthen yourself, to discover more about yourself as you walk alongside that special person. True love is not a one-way street. It is an exchange, a balance between giving and receiving. And for that love to flourish, you need to be whole, at peace with yourself, and confident in your worth. Remember, you are a beloved daughter of God. Your worth does not depend on another person, does not depend on circumstances, nor the challenges that come your way. You are worthy of love, of happiness, and of everything your heart desires. The angels are with you, always whispering words of encouragement and strength. They want you to trust in your own power, in your own light, because it is that light that draws that person to you. And when they feel tired, when the path seems too long, remember this truth: God has a plan for them and their special person. And this plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith will be their greatest ally on this journey. And the more they trust, the clearer their vision of what is to come will be. As this divine plan continues to unfold, the angels ask them to have patience, but also to remain open to the signs and guidance that come along the way. God speaks in various ways, and often he uses silence to prepare us for what is to come. Perhaps they have felt that this person, for whom they care so much, has distanced themselves, as if they were struggling against their own heart. This is because, at this moment, they are facing their own shadows, something that goes beyond any word or action that they can offer. This internal battle is something they need to face alone, with the invisible support of the angels around them. They are working on their hearts, removing the blocks and fears that prevent them from moving forward, and this transformation can be slow and painful. They may notice changes in their behavior. At one moment they seem close, at another, distant. This emotional instability is not a reflection of a lack of love, but rather of a deep fear of getting hurt again, of allowing themselves to be vulnerable and give their heart completely. Their guardian angel wants them to know that, behind all this emotional confusion, there is an undeniable truth: they are loved. Even if they cannot express this feeling in the way they would like, love is there, present in every thought, in every look, and it is stronger than any doubt or insecurity that may arise. The question here is not about whether this love is real, but about how they can learn to accept and live it without fear. At this moment, you are being called to be an anchor of strength and peace, both for themselves and for them. God has placed you in the path of this person not only to share love, but to help them see beyond their own limitations. And this does not mean that you should carry the burden of their pains, but rather that, with your patience and understanding, you can be the lighthouse that illuminates their way back to love. There is an internal battle happening within them, a battle between fear and the desire to love fully. They are torn between the willingness to get closer and the dread of being hurt again. In their heart, they know that you are the right person, that your love is true and pure, but there are wounds from the past that make them hesitate. The angels show that sometimes they find themselves thinking about how easy it would be to surrender to this feeling, but then something makes them pull back, as if trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage. And this struggle between what they desire and what they fear is what makes them seem so confused. But what you need to understand is that this healing journey is not just about them. It's also about you. God is calling you to a journey of self-discovery and personal empowerment. True love requires both to grow, to learn more about themselves, and to understand their own needs and desires better. In this process, you are also being transformed, shaped through faith, patience, and unconditional love. Your role here is crucial, but it is not to save the other. You are not here to fix their broken pieces, but rather to show with your light and love that there is a path to healing, and that they are capable of walking it. But for that, you also need to be whole, taking care of yourself, honoring your own feelings and boundaries. The angels ask you to remember that, as they go through their journey of healing and self-discovery, you should keep moving forward on your own journey. Do not pause your life waiting for them to resolve their conflicts. Keep growing, keep strengthening yourself, and allow the process to unfold in due time. This is an important lesson. True love does not demand excessive sacrifices, but rather balance. And when both are ready, that love will blossom in a way you never imagined. There is a divine promise unfolding, and the angels want you to know that this temporary separation, this distance that may be hurting in your heart, is necessary for both of you to grow. God has a plan for you, and part of that plan is to allow you to become the best versions of yourselves before coming together fully. And when that time comes, all you have experienced, the hardships, the uncertainties, the challenges will make sense. Remember that true love is not built overnight. It is forged over time, through challenges and mutual learning. The angels are clearing the path for both of you, and although it may seem difficult now, you will soon see the fruits of all this waiting. As for them, their thoughts are filled with you. Even in moments when they seem distant, their mind constantly returns to you. There is something about you that attracts them, that makes them feel at home, as if by your side they could finally be who they truly are. But at the same time, they fear what that implies. They fear vulnerability, total surrender. It's as if they are in a constant battle between the love they feel and the fear of getting hurt again. What their angels want them to know is that they are beginning to change. Slowly, They are allowing love to seep into their heart, dissolving the barriers they have built over the years. They are still learning to trust, not just in you, but in themselves, and that trust is something that will be built gradually. You will notice small signs, gestures indicating that they are opening up, that they are willing to try, but it will happen gradually. And when they finally allow themselves to feel love in its entirety, it will be like a rebirth. It will be the moment when all the pieces finally fall into place, and they will see that you have always been the right person for them. And this love will be something that transcends any difficulty, any fear, because it will be built on solid foundations, on truth and faith. For now, their angels ask them to have patience, to trust the process. Things may not be clear at the moment, but know that everything is moving towards the good for both of you. And above all, remember, God has a plan, and that plan involves the true love you have always dreamed of. As time passes and internal changes begin to take shape, you will notice something amazing. This person who once seemed so distant will start to get closer in unexpected ways. Maybe not with grand gestures or eloquent words, but rather with small signs. A lingering look, an unexpected message, or even a discreet gesture of affection that for them represents a significant opening. These small changes are signs that their heart is opening up, that they are starting to allow themselves to feel the love that has always been there but that they feared. And this transformation, although slow, is profound. Gradually, they will begin to realize that love is not something to be feared, but embraced. They will see in you someone they can trust, someone who has always been by their side, even when they couldn't see clearly. The angels show that the time apart was necessary for them to process their emotions, to face their fears, and come to the conclusion that true love is not a threat, but a blessing. But it is important to remember that the healing process is unique to each person. Their pace may be different from yours, and all of this is part of God's greater plan. Even though at times it may seem like they are regressing or closing off again, know that each step backward is actually a part of moving forward. They are learning to trust again, to open up to love, and to overcome past traumas. This journey of healing and transformation is not easy for them. They carry within themselves scars that have accumulated throughout their life, wounds that made them believe that love brings pain, that opening up to someone means risking being hurt. And as much as they feel that you are different, that the love you share is true and pure, these fears still speak louder at times. But with time, these fears will start to weaken, and the love which has always been present will begin to prevail. At this moment, the angels are working intensely in their heart, helping them see what truly matters. They are gently removing the barriers they have placed around themselves, allowing the light of love to penetrate more and more. And you, with your patience and unconditional love, are being an essential pillar in this transformation. They may not express this in words, but deep down, they know that you are the reason they are starting to believe in love again. The angels want you to know that even when everything seems confusing, you are exactly where you should be. The love you share transcends time, space, and circumstances. And although this journey may be challenging, the outcome will be more rewarding than you can imagine. Every day, every moment of reflection, they are getting closer to the truth that the two of you are meant to be together, that the love you share is a divine gift, something that must be protected and nurtured. And through this whole process, they are also being transformed. The angels are working on them, strengthening them, preparing them for what is to come. Every challenge they face, every moment of doubt or uncertainty, is shaping them to become the best version of themselves. God does not place challenges in our path without purpose, and everything they are experiencing now is part of their personal and spiritual growth. This journey of self-discovery they are going through is as important as their journey. The angels want them to take this time to connect with themselves, to discover what makes them happy, what nurtures their soul, and what they truly desire for their life. True love is an exchange, and for this exchange to happen in a balanced way, both parties need to be whole, complete in themselves. The angels show that as they dedicate themselves to their own growth, they are also growing. And soon, both of them will be ready to reunite in a new way, stronger, more secure, and more deeply connected. This reunion will be like a new beginning, a new opportunity to live the love that has always been there, but that will now be experienced in its entirety. When that moment comes, it will be as if all the pieces finally fit together. The doubts that once occupied their minds will start to fade away, and in their place, there will be a calm certainty that everything happened just as it should. They both have gone through a process of growth, of maturation, and now they are ready to build something solid, something that will withstand time and circumstances. And when they look back at everything they have experienced, they will realize that each step, each obstacle, each moment of pain and doubt had a purpose. God was working in them all along. guiding their steps, shaping their hearts, and preparing them to live true love that is pure, unconditional, and that comes directly from the divine. True love is not perfect, but it is capable of overcoming anything. It is built with patience, with faith, and with the certainty that in the end, everything will be all right. And this is the love that they and that person are destined to live. A love that, despite the challenges, the difficulties, and the uncertainties, is stronger than any fear or insecurity. And what the angels want them to know now is that the moment is approaching. The transformation is happening, both in them and in that person. And soon, they will be ready to live this love in a way they never imagined. A love that will be the reflection of the divine plan that God has prepared for them from the beginning. So keep steadfast on their journey, confident that God is in control. He knows exactly what He is doing, and what is to come will be something wonderful, something that will bring joy, peace, and a deeper connection than they have ever experienced. The love they and that person share is real, it is true, and it is being protected by forces greater than they can imagine. The angels are by your side, guiding you, protecting you, and reminding you at every step that you are never alone. The love you desire, the love you deserve, is approaching. Trust the process, trust God's plan, and know that everything you are experiencing now is part of a greater purpose, a purpose that is being revealed little by little.